Ready?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we want to introduce a new crew member. I know that's kind of the thing that all the new sailing channels are doing these days. So, Molly, do you want to introduce our new crew?
Yes.
Go for it.
Skippy.
All right. We haven't done this in a while, have we? Okay. Does everybody see everybody? You can kind of see the tree. Okay. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, so this is just going to be a really simple video. We're trying to get back in the groove and kind of shake off the cobwebs kind of thing. But this is kind of our first video getting back into the regular routine of making videos. So this is going to be a basic one, but we want to get you caught up to kind of where we are, what we've been up to, and what we are getting into next. Right?
Right.
So as you know, one new thing is we have a new crew member. Isn't that right, Molly?
Yep.
Our new crew member's name is
Skippy.
Skippy. Now, his full and proper name is Skipper, but we kind of shortened that to Skippy. So,
or as I like to call him, he is Skipper Doodle.
We have lots of nicknames for him. Sometimes
Sweet
I call
boy.
him. Yeah, Sweet Boy. Senior Fuzzy Bottom. That's another one, but we can go on and on about Skippy's nicknames.
Yeah, we have fallen in love with this gerbil.
Yeah, we're going to see. He's going to be a well-traveled gerbil. Yeah. Gerbil. That's another thing.
We call him a gerbil.
For whatever reason, we tend to call him a gerbil. All right, well, let's move on from the gerbil. All right, so backstory, okay? So, we have been looking for a new sailboat for a while now. I mean, probably more than a year. Because, you know, we were sailing for a while, then we bought the RV, we did the RV trip, and now we're getting back into sailing. But we were looking for a new boat even while we were in the RV. Just, you know, keeping an eye on things and trying to find a good deal on something. But as you may or may not be aware of, you may not be aware of how difficult the market is right now for buying a boat, at least a boat on a budget. Sailboats are selling like hotcakes right now for really high prices. They're not on the market very long, so it's made it really tough for us to find a good deal on a boat, but the search continues. However, we do have a solution in place for this upcoming season, and we are going to get into that. But we have not yet bought a boat of our own. What we are looking for, again, is a boat that's around a 40-foot monohull, right?
Yep.
Tammy, you know, she would be just fine on like some big 50-foot, catamaran, luxurious and all that stuff. But I'm afraid that's not in the cards. What do you think about a catamaran, Molly? I mean, you wouldn't turn one of those down, right?
I kinda.
You would?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, Molly's actually with me on that one, Tammy.
You heard me when we were on that other boat, the 46.
Yeah.
You know, I'd probably turn down a catamaran too.
Yeah, that's okay. So we are looking for, 40-foot monohull, that kind of thing. But, we're gonna be getting more into that. All these weird details we're talking about here is going to make a lot more sense when we move on through this. So we've been looking for a boat for over a year. We have not been having much luck. You've seen some of the videos we've made of some of the boats we've checked out. In addition to those, there are other boats that we have checked out that we weren't able to make videos of because, the broker or the owner, they didn't want us filming, that kind of thing. So that's been another thing that's kind of been keeping the videos, from being produced as consistently as we would want them to. But we've looked at a lot of boats. We've been looking a long time. But we've been being very patient about it, trying to find the right thing. We're trying to not rush. At the same time, we're so anxious to get back out there, but just looking for the right boat to come along. Hasn't happened yet, but stand by. So let's see, what's next here? So here's kind of getting into the exciting part here. Here's a little more of the story. So we went to the Annapolis Boat Show in October, and I was kind of hoping for some interesting leads to come up. We talked to all kinds of people at the Annapolis show, and obviously up there around Annapolis, there's loads and loads of boats. So we were hoping for some leads to come up, and nothing too exciting came out of that. There were a couple little leads, but nothing that, we were going to jump all over. However, on the way back from the Annapolis show, Tammy was actually driving. We take turns driving. She was driving. I was looking at emails, and we had one particular email that really got our attention, right?
Yep.
So what I'd like to do at this point is basically just read to you the email that we got on the way back from the Annapolis Boat Show. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me find that email. It is right. It is right. Just let me find it. So much junk. Oh, I'm getting warmer. Maybe. Hang on. I found it. All right. All right, here we go. This is the email we got on the way back from the Annapolis Boat Show. Dear Ben, Tamby, and Molly, we hope you're all having a wonderful time at the Annapolis Boat Show. We chatted with you last... Am I boring you, Mom?
No.
Okay. All right. We chatted with you last year while you were on the road tripping to the Southwest. But we've been watching your journey with boat searching, and we have an idea/proposal for you. Our family life has changed a bit in the last year. We were sailing in the 2021 season up until hurricane season, and our beloved sailboat is now on the hard in Port Charlotte, Florida. Our son, who is autistic, got into a great school here in Missouri that's created around kids who need a different learning setting, and we didn't want to pass that up. Matt took a job with the local company to replenish the funds a bit from several years of traveling, and we're looking at a couple years of our boat, Moondragon, being on the hard. At the same time, we've seen you going through the difficulty of boat searching during these strange times. We might have a temporary solution. So here it comes. What if you took the helm of our boat for a while? We're not ready to sell her, but it pains us to see her drying out for a long period of time. Even if it was just a year, give or take, it could be a temporary plan to get your family back on the water, creating content, we totally understand, while the sailboat market normalizes a bit, and hopefully more good boat options come up. This wouldn't keep you from making a move on a boat if something appeared earlier than expected. We just want to get her back to home base. And while you're on the water, keeping her healthy and happy, it saves us the storage fees and gives us some peace of mind in a different way. Granted, there are a lot of details we would need to figure out, the biggest being insurance and how that would work, responsibilities, meeting you for a week to show you everything we can about her, and I'm sure a myriad of other things. But if this seems hopeful, we can get it all sorted out. Now, this is talking about the boat itself. Now, a bit about her. She's an amazing old girl. Moondragon is a 1975 Wellington 47 ketch rig. She's solid, heavy, fiberglass, and reliable with thick hulls and no bow thrust. We have a really heavy mantis anchor that has held us throughout Florida and the Bahamas, even withstanding a couple nights of gales in the dry Tortugas last spring. She has a Ford Lehman diesel engine that's been amazing and a Northern Lights 9K generator. She does have heat and AC when needed, an induction cooktop with pans, and 2 heads. We just replaced the original head this last year. Hallelujah! She's 47 in length on paper, but with the dinghy and dinghy davits and the bowsprit, she's 56 feet overall. When we bought her a few years ago, we couldn't believe we'd fallen in love with such a big boat. Definitely the largest boat either of us ever managed, but operating her became very intuitive, and her size became a benefit to us when the anchorages are rough or the seas are kicking a little harder. She really comes alive in 15 to 18 knots of wind when some smaller boats are wanting to head back to anchorage. All right, this is a lot, I know. We wanted to finally reach out, though, because the idea has continued to come up. Let us know if it's enticing at all, and we can always talk more. Truly, Matt, Kristen, and Eric of SV Moondragon. So that is the email that we got. And that brings us to kind of the exciting thing here. So, let's see, I'm trying to find my notes here. So, this is something we're going to pursue. We were absolutely shocked to receive this email from his family. I mean, the idea of a family with a good, outfitted, pretty much ready to go cruising boat, offering it to us to use. I mean, the generosity is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. We were very shocked.
And that, like I said, I'm reading this email as Tamby's driving, and I'm like, I'm reading it. I'm like, Tammy, you're not going to believe this. and like the whole time home for like the next 8 hours or so, we're talking about this opportunity, and like actually we were pretty skeptical about the whole thing because we didn't know this family, we didn't know the boat, and I don't know, it sounded like too much. But we're going over everything on the car ride home, and yeah, it is something we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to do this, and I think it's going to work out really good for everybody.
We're very excited. We're a little apprehensive, nervous about it being such a large boat, but very excited to have this opportunity. Yeah,
to get back out there. So the cool thing about this is a boat that we can get out there and use. It gets us back out there on the water. We don't have any particular obligations as far as timeline, like how far we have to use it for. So if we find another boat out there that we want to buy, all we have to do is get this one back to Port Charlotte, Florida, and then we're good. What do you think of a 47-foot boat, Molly? It's actually 56 feet. Sandflea was 32.
It's very big.
That's humongo.
Yeah.
Are you going to be ready to help us sail that thing? We're really going to need your help this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. Maybe Skippy can lend a hand too.
He would probably chew on the ropes.
Yeah, we don't want him chewing on the ropes or anything like that. No. All right. So we did. When we got back home, we've talked to this family a lot now, and it's an amazing family. I mean, we would not be even considering this if we didn't have a really good, optimistic feeling about this family. And they're very realistic about the whole thing, because like some of the questions I was asking is like, what happens if situations out of our control, occur, and I don't know, the worst happens, the boat sinks or it burns or just any crazy things. And we've talked about these unlikely but possible situations, and they're very understanding and realistic about the whole thing. But I mean, our mentality and intention with the whole thing is like, look, I want to give this boat back to them in better shape than it's in, when we head off in this boat. Yeah. So yeah, that's actually what we're getting into. I'm recording this video. It's December 8th, the 8th, I think. But kind of our plan, our timeline, we're trying to get out there kind of first part of January, maybe middle of January. That's what we're shooting for right now. But we've gone to Florida. We've seen the boat. We've been on the boat. We didn't take too many pictures or video because it was kind of a little bit in disarray. When they put this boat away, they weren't planning on us getting in there and basically taking all these pictures, and so there was some pride there with the owners. They want to have it cleaned up a little better before we go sharing it with everybody. But I'll put some pictures up from Instagram and that kind of thing so that you can see the boat. Let's see. The boat does need a little work before we can head out. You remember what it was?
The exhaust elbow.
Yeah, the exhaust elbow was kind of rusted through, so we've got a new one actually built already. And then there's a place in the manifold, the exhaust manifold, that we're having to get brazed or fixed or repaired, something like that. But we're on that too, so we're trying to get the thing put back together. Those little engine problems fixed really quick. Do you remember what the big challenge is, though, Molly, with this boat?
Getting it through the lock, because the water level is low.
Yep. So where this boat is, sorry, my nose is running. Where this boat is in Port Charlotte, Florida, it's inside a canal. And at the end of the canal that goes into Port Charlotte Harbor, there's a lock. And right there at the lock, there's basically a shallow spot. This boat has a draft of 5 feet, and we're going to need as much water as we can right there to get out. So around December 18th to 20th, something like that, is... What are you doing, Molly? You're distracting me with all your rustling of candy wrappers. All right. She's got her candy cane now. She's good. So there's this shallow spot that we have to get over. So there's a full moon around December 18th to 20th that we're shooting to get the boat through that shallow spot around then. But again, we kind of have these challenges with the exhaust elbow and the engine manifold that has to be repaired and put back together, and the boat has to be splashed, and some other things have to happen before then. So we're pushing on that timeline. We're trying to make it work. You know, I'm going to be heading back down to Florida here in another week or so. That'll be when the next video will take place. But that's what we're going to be doing. It's just going to be me and Matt, the owner of the boat down there, putting it back together and getting it through that shallow spot at the lock. Why my nose is freaking out now that we got the video going. It's okay. We're going to roll with it. Okay, so yeah, you know, the idea is we're going to take this boat. We're going to go to the Bahamas. And we're just going to enjoy that trip in the Bahamas. We're not going to do too heavy of boat searching in the Bahamas, really. But we're going to keep our ears and eyes open for a deal on the next boat. And we're continuing to do that. After the Bahamas, we're going to start heading up the East Coast. That's when we hope to start checking out some other boats more regularly. And I don't know, by that time, maybe the sailboat market will have cooled off a bit and there'll be some more opportunities out there. That's kind of what we're hoping. Mm-hmm. Is that we can time this whole thing with this boat to try to let the market kind of cool off and get some more opportunities going. Because Tambi wants a boat of our own. We do. I mean, that's still what the whole plan is here, is to get a boat of our own. But yeah, using this big old Wellington 47, that's what we're going to be doing for the next little while we continue boat shopping. You want to talk about any of this stuff, Tambi? Sorry, I just rattle on. I kind of get on a roll here.
You're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So limitations, responsibilities, and intentions. You know, the owners of the boat, they don't want us taking it to like Mexico or doing any kind of circumnavigation. They want to keep it reasonably close to the States. So that's one little, you know, limitation. I talked about after the Bahamas, we wouldn't mind going all the way up to Maine or maybe even Nova Scotia if the Canadian border, you know, relaxes and opens up more between now and then. So we'll see. But otherwise, you know, we plan on going all the way up the East Coast this summer while we're checking out some boats. This other family, they're looking at not using this boat for up to, do you remember how long, Molly? No. 3 years. Is kind of the rough time frame they're looking at. So we would potentially have that long to use this boat. I mean, in my mind, I want to get it back to them really as quickly as we can, you know, reasonably speaking. But at the same time, the longer we use the boat, it's kind of helping them out because it's keeping the boat moving, it's keeping it maintained, it's keeping it in good working order, and it's saving them huge monthly cost in storage fees. So there's kind of a balance there. I definitely want to make it worth their while. Yeah. But you know, it's a flexible arrangement, which is kind of a nice thing for us. All right, here, take some stuff, Tambi. They don't want to hear me talk. They want to hear you talk. I want to hear you and Molly. What have you got to say?
So
you're doing good.
You've got written here, it's not a free ride.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a free ride. We're going to be responsible for maintenance, overhead costs, running costs, you know, all the typical cruising costs that come with running a boat.
Yeah, that's all on us. And any extra cost that it takes to, you know, anything extra that it would be costing us, and it's not a cost that those guys would normally be paying for, the owners, that's on us. You know, we're going to, again, I want to keep this boat in good shape and actually better shape when it gets back to them. So, yeah, all of those costs are still on us. Let's see. So here, do that one there. Special situation one.
So this is a very special situation.
Indeed.
So it's really not something we were looking for. We did not set out to say, hey, does anybody have a boat that we can use because we can't find one?
No.
It was just... They actually contacted me on Instagram and said, we have this special opportunity. Can I send you an email? And so I gave her our email address, and then that's when we got that email on the way back from the boat show. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
we weren't hunting for this kind of situation at all, and we wouldn't have. It just, there's a part of this that actually feels a little uncomfortable. It's almost like a level of generosity that we just, I don't know, it just feels, I don't know, it just feels so generous that it's like, really, do we really want to do that? But at the same time, we understand how it's mutually beneficial. It's helping them keep their boat going, keep it maintained, and it's saving them a bundle of money in storage costs. So it's a win-win.
And then, like Ben said, we've had a lot of conversations with them. We've gotten to know them. We feel like
big time.
They are a lot like us in a lot of ways. So it's not something that we consider doing with just anyone and anyone's boat, because we don't gel with everyone.
No, we don't gel with most people.
Yeah. So
all right. So what's going on next?
So Ben's going to Florida.
In about a week or so. Yeah.
They're going to be, him and Matt, like he said earlier, are going to be working on the boat, getting it cleaned up and getting all their stuff off of it. Getting it ready to go.
Getting it all rigged up. The water. Getting the sails up. We got to do a little bottom job on it. Get the engine going again. There's some little things, but it shouldn't take too long. But I'll go down for about a week or so. And again, the idea is to get the boat splashed in the water before the 18th so that we can take advantage of that full moon, which is going to make the tide even higher so that we can hopefully get past that really shallow section. That's the plan. That's the timeline we're working towards.
And hopefully the manifold and exhaust elbow can be installed before then, because you can't get it out if that's not working. Yeah, we won't splash the boat unless the engine's put back together. The exhaust elbow is ready to go on, but the manifold needs some work. It's got a spot that needs to either be brazed or we need a replacement manifold. So that's kind of the uncertainty right now concerning that timeline. Yep. So next thing on the list here is like, this is a new experience in many ways. This boat is way different from Sand Flea. For one thing, if I don't know if this is the first time you may be seeing us, but Sand Flea, our previous boat, was an Endeavor 32. It was a 32-foot monohull that was sloop rigged, single mast, 2 sails, and it weighed, I think, 12 or 13,000 pounds, something like this. It was very easy for us to sail, or Ben to sail by himself if I was not feeling well.
Yeah. Now this boat, in contrast to that, this boat is 46 feet on deck, 56 or 7 feet overall. So it's coming up on twice the length of Sand Flea. And Sand Flea was 12 or 13,000 pounds. This boat, this Wellington, is 48,000 pounds, I believe. So it is 4 times as big and heavy.
That is a giant boat.
That is monstrous, Tamby. You know what your name is. Listen.
It is a giant boat, guys.
Just hold it.
It's a big boat.
No cuts. We're just going with it. All right. So another thing that's different, this boat has humongous fuel and water capacity. Sand Flea, we had 36 gallons of fuel and like 45 gallons of water. This one has 470 gallons of fuel, I'm pretty sure, and 450 gallons of water. So Molly can take those 3-hour-long showers. And
I don't take 3-hour-long showers.
All right. Maybe not. Whatever. It is a catch rig boat. The Wellington is. Sand Flea was a sloop, so there's more sails to deal with. That's another difference. It's a catch rig. Did I say that? Yeah. I did. I think I just said that. The Wellington has a center board. Sand Flea did not, so that's different. Sand Flea, we had a composting head in it, and there was only one. This Wellington has 2 heads, and they're both marine heads. So that's one of those. That's one of those things where we vastly prefer the composting head, mainly just to avoid, leaking hoses and tanks or just any of the nightmare situations that can occur with marine heads. But I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be fine. I think this is one of those things that I get real anxious about in my mind, but hopefully it's going to be just fine.
It's going to be a learning experience because we've never used.
I don't even know. Heads. I don't even remember using it. I know it has the pumper thing. That's what that was. But I know that there's some pumping involved. But and then you got to pump it over, 3 miles out and all this stuff. But all that stuff is going to be new to us. This Wellington, it's a center cockpit boat, where Sandflea was a aft cockpit, so that's different. And then here's some differences too. The Wellington does not have, it does not have propane. No propane. It's an electric only boat, so it doesn't have a propane stove or propane oven. It has an induction cooktop, which Tambi's kind of, it's new to her. She doesn't, I don't think she's ever really used one before.
I haven't even used one at home, So
she really liked the propane oven, but I know it's a huge advantage not having propane on a boat, but it's just something we're used to. So that's a big difference. And also, again, I said it's electric only. There's let's see, what's this next one? Oh, no solar. There's no solar on this Wellington. We had solar on Sandflea. It's a generator only on the Wellington. So there is no solar. We have to run the generator a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the evening is what the owners recommend. So that's a new thing too. Lots of differences between this boat and Sandflea. So the cool thing about that is I'm sure there's going to be things that we like about it and things that we dislike about it. But either way, it's going to give us some interesting perspectives and experiences that we wouldn't otherwise have. And I think that's going to really serve us in helping us really dial in and focus on what we want on our next boat.
This is like the complete opposite of Sandflea.
In a lot of ways.
In most ways.
It's a monohull.
Yeah, okay, there's that.
It has a rudder.
It has sails.
Yeah, it has sails, yeah. There's a load of differences, though. Big time. But that's a cool advantage of it. We're going to come away from this being like, well, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I do like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we're gonna really learn some things that we dislike and do like about it.
So maybe on the next boat we can have a nice compromise between Sandflea and this boat right in the center. You know?
One thing I know that Molly's going to like is she has her own space. I mean, she's going to end up most likely up in the V berth of this boat, and it's enormous. Her and Skippy up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me and Skippy are going to be roommates.
Yeah, roommates. So she will have, one of the main requirements we have in our next boat is for Molly to have her own private enclosed space. So she's going to have that in this boat, and she'll have it in the next one too. So that's nice that you're going to be able to go ahead and enjoy that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so that's everything I got on the list. I'm sure that was. Where are you going?
Skippy.
Oh, she's going to get Skippy back. So that's what we're getting into next. That's a little information about the Wellington, our timeline. The video should be going again regularly very soon. There might be a little lag, between now and, when we move on the boat, but I expect for those weekly videos to be consistently being produced again. I would say, I don't know, by the end of January at the longest time frame out, unless something crazy happens, but that's what we're shooting towards. Couple things I want to mention. We have had a few people ask about, do we have an Amazon wish list or an Amazon, it's what it's called, right? A wish list. And we do. If anybody wants to take a look at that list and see some of the, all right, hey, time out. All right, camera turned off. All right, we're going again. Sorry about that. All right, Amazon wish list. A few people ask if we have an Amazon wish list. We do. We'll put a link in the description if you want to take a look at that. Also, patrons, anybody who may have put their account on pause or turned it off or whatever because we were making those stupid RV videos.
Sorry, guys, that's my fault.
I'm not blaming you, Tambi.
You are too.
It's not really.
It's right.
But anyways,
I enjoyed it.
Get back on board. We could use all the help we can get. We're trying to get those patron numbers back up. So you're invited to join Patreon if you would like to. Otherwise, subscribe to the video if you haven't already. Click the like button, all of that stuff. But yeah, we're excited about getting back out there. Tambi's a little distracted with the Gerbil right now. But yeah, that wraps up this video. How do we bring this to a close?
I do.
Oh, Molly has an idea. Oh, we're wrapping it up now? Oh, you're gonna...
I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
wait, focus on him, Molly. Right, bring him back out there. Bring him back out here. Let me focus on his face. All right. Wait. All right, go.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Is that your Skippy voice?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right. Good job, ladies. All right, let's close it out. Merry Christmas, everybody. We're so excited to be getting back on the water. Follow along. We want to have you with us on this next adventure. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be great. Bye, everybody.
Bye.